Hey there, Mom. Can I ask you about something? When we stayed at your house the other day, you did our laundry for us, right?
Yes, I believe I did, Cindy. Why do you ask?
Because our clothes looks like they've been ripped in several places. Some I can stitch, but others are completely ruined.
That's what you get for buying cheap made-in-China clothing. If you bought clothes made with proper fabric, then it wouldn't have happened. And another thing, even low-quality fabric can last for quite some time as long as you take proper care of it. Looks like you've been careless. In any case, I have no idea what happened to your clothes.
Mom, I would understand if there was a little snag on a few shirts or something, but this is different. These are really, really big holes. They could only have been made intentionally. Do you know anything about that, Mom? Anything you want to tell me?
No, I don't know anything about it, and yes, I do want to tell you something. If you don't like how I do the laundry, then do it yourself. Don't abuse my generosity and then complain about the results.
I offered to do it myself, Mom, but you got angry and started yelling at me not to touch your brand new washing machine.
Don't you know how this works? You're supposed to insist on doing it yourself. Really, I told you not to do it one single solitary time, and you just let me do it? You really are an ungrateful guest, Cindy. It's too bad about your clothes. Buy some better ones and take care of them next time.
Something like this happens every single time we spend the night at your house. Either something gets ripped or stained or lost. Like a few months ago, I wore a brand new pair of jeans and they went mysteriously missing.
You probably lost them. What, are you accusing me of stealing your shabby jeans?
I've held my tongue about this for long enough. Yes, I do suspect you had something to do with it. I wouldn't put it past you anyways, considering how you treat me. Don't think I didn't notice what you did at dinner the other night. Somehow only my food got burned. And not just a little dark, it was black as charcoal.
Huh, I don't believe this. You actually think I treat you poorly on purpose. Like I have some kind of agenda against you? It sure feels like that sometimes. Pathetic! How old are you, Cindy? Really? You have one of the worst victim complexes I've ever seen. You need me to be the villain so you can cast yourself as the heroine in your own melodrama.
I don't need you to be anything but a decent person towards me. I'm not imagining the tears in our clothes, Mom. What happened to them if it wasn't you?
I already told you. The clothes were poor quality, and you should have taken better care of them. Honestly, it's like you think I'm a character out of an overreacted soap opera or something.
All right, fine. I see you're not going to be honest with me.
Now you're calling me a liar? I have never been treated this way in my entire life. Do you have some sort of evidence that I was the one who ripped your shirts?
How did you know it was only shirts that got ripped?
Don't dodge the question. If you have evidence, let's see it. Well, I'm waiting.
No, I don't have any hard evidence. It's just an awfully strange coincidence that this only ever happens when you do our laundry.
You're free to invent whatever bizarre fantasy you'd like regardless of what happens to your clothes. Just don't drag me into it. I won't stand for any more of these baseless allegations out of you.
I wouldn't say they're baseless, but I suppose this conversation isn't going anywhere. I'll just take our clothes home the next time we stay with you. I'll have to make sure Rick doesn't put his stuff in your washing machine.
Don't you dare go whining to my son about your delusions. Not that he would believe you if you told him. In fact, there's not one single person in this family who would believe anything you told them about me.
You think so?
I know so. The only one who sees me as some kind of abusive, manipulate monster is you, Cindy.
Cindy, where are you? Are you still at the store?
Yeah, I'm almost done though. Your mom asked me to go shopping for stuff she needs for dinner. I'll be back soon. Why, do you need me to pick something up for you?
No, I'm good.
Did your mom say anything to you? Oh no, is she mad that I'm taking too long? Tell her I'm sorry and we'll be back within about 15 minutes or so.
I need to ask you a question. Whatever you're doing, stop and pay attention.
Rick, are you angry about something?
Yes.
Why? What's the matter?
Before this conversation goes any further, I need to confirm something. When we got to Mom's house earlier today, we all had coffee together, right? The three of us, you, me, and my mom.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Who made the coffee? Was it you, or was it my mom?
It was your mom, Rick.
Okay, thank you for telling me. When you're done shopping, don't come back to my mom's house.
What? But I need to get her the stuff she asked for. There's some frozen things too. It'll spoil if I don't bring it over right away.
That doesn't matter. You just go straight home.
I don't understand, Rick. Your mom is going to be furious at me if I do that. She said she wanted me back before noon to give her time to start on dinner.
I don't care about dinner. Go home, and when you get there, get ready to move out of the house.
Rick, are you kicking me out of the house? But why? Why are you so angry at me? I thought I was being a good wife to you.
Calm down, Cindy. I'm mad, yeah, but not at you.
Then what do you mean you want me to get ready to move out? Doesn't that mean you're divorcing me and kicking me out of the house?
No! Good grief, don't jump to such crazy conclusions.
What else am I supposed to think? First, you interrogate me like a cop, then you tell me to move. I'm scared, Rick.
Oh my God, you're right, Cindy. I didn't mean to make you afraid. I'm so sorry, not just for that, for everything. I should have noticed sooner.
Are you talking about your mom?
Yeah.
So you finally caught on, huh? Thank you for finally realizing what was going on.
I was an idiot not to see it before. The signs were all there. How long has she been this way to you?
Since we got married, actually.
Good God. This must have been so hard for you to deal with all by yourself.
Was it my coffee that tipped you off?
That's exactly right.
Oh no, you didn't drink any, did you?
No, I didn't need to drink it to realize what she did.
That's good. This is such a burden off my shoulders. I've been hoping, praying for so long that you would catch on, but as bad as she's been to me, I never thought she'd go this far.
If you think you're shocked, imagine how I feel right now. I didn't even know anything was going on between the two of you. But it's all right, I know all I need to know now.
It's been so painful having to live with her abuse, but I didn't want you to have to worry about me. Plus, I'd hate for you to think poorly of your mother.
Seriously? She deserves that and much more. She's been lying to me, putting on an act in order to hide the truth. It's not that I'm blaming you, but wow, Cindy, I wish you would have come out and told me something before it got this bad.
I didn't think you'd believe me. Or even if you'd believe me, you'd probably take her side.
Are you kidding me? Cindy, you're my wife. You're the most important person in the world to me. You're more important than even my mom. That's what I said when we exchanged our vows, and I intend to hold up my end of the bargain. I will protect you from anyone who would try to hurt you, no matter who they are.
Cindy, where are you? I sent you to the store an hour ago. There's no excuse for you to be gone this long. What on earth are you doing? I finished shopping and went straight home after that. You what? Believe me when I say that nothing pleases me more than knowing that I don't have to deal with you anymore today. But you had a job to do. What did you do to the things I told you to pick up from the store? I need to get started on dinner soon. Rick told me to go straight home, so I did. In fact, he told me that he never wants me to go to your house again. He did? Really? Well, it seems my son has some sense in him after all. When he married you, I thought that he had lost his mind, but he finally sees you for what you are. Ta-ta, Cindy. Enjoy being a divorcee. You're wrong, Mom. What? I'm never wrong, even if I were to correct your mother-in-law. He didn't send me home to get rid of me. He sent me home to protect me. From you. What? Thanks for the coffee earlier, Mom. You're several hours too late for that. Don't think I didn't notice that you never even took a single sip. What kind of woman refuses a fresh cup of coffee from her mother-in-law? The kind who saw through your devious little plot. Plot? Oh, wonderful. Here comes your victim complex again. There's no complex, Mom. I'm a fully fledged victim of your failed poisoning attempt. I know you put something in my coffee. I could tell it smelled odd when I picked it up to take my first drink. Would you like to explain that? How am I supposed to know? For all I know, your sense of smell is as defective as your sense of file pity. I was shocked and appalled when you accused me of intentionally destroying your clothes, but now you're accusing me for attempted murder. How dare you? Your parents failed miserably of raising you. What I'm specifically accusing you of really depends on how much of what substance you put in my coffee, but that's besides the point. I know you did something to my coffee. How? Because I switched cups with my husband.
You did?
I felt bad about it because I knew there was always a risk that he wouldn't notice in time and drink it. But I had faith that he would catch on, and sure enough, he did. Right afterwards, he texted me to ask me about the coffee, and after that, I told him about everything you've been doing to me over the years.
You had no right to do that.
You're trying to make me look like a psychopath of my own son. How many times do I have to tell you that you need to stop making accusations without evidence? You're right. I still don't have any hard evidence. I have to hand it to you. You're good. You did a fantastic job on concealing your cruelty and not leaving any evidence behind. Until now, that is. You're not going to be able to talk yourself out of this one.
Nonsense! It's obvious that the problem is that this was a bad batch of coffee. I'll have to contact the store I bought it from and get a refund. You see, I didn't intentionally put anything in your drink. It was all an accident.
I know what bad coffee smells like, Mom. I'm not that stupid. In the coffee itself, what was the problem? Then why was mine the only cup that smelled odd?
How am I supposed to know? All I know is that I had nothing to do with it.
If it's true, then can you explain the bottle of drain cleaner that was on the counter next to the coffee maker? The cap was off, too.
What else is right next to the coffee maker? The sink, you simpleton. I was cleaning the drains before you got there.
Wow, you are good, Mom. Like, really, really good. Not many people can come up with a lie on a spot like that.
It's not a lie. It's me explaining why yet another of your accusation against me is false.
I wonder how much longer you'll be able to keep up that facade. Keep up that facade. You were caught, Mom. Rick knows. He's angry. And you are in deep, deep trouble.
In trouble with my son? Girl, you really do not understand this family. My son could never get angry at me.
You can think that way if you want. We'll find out the truth soon enough. In the meantime, I suggest you come up with an apology as good as your excuses are. Not that it'll do you any good. Mom, are you there? Hello? That's weird. Why aren't you responding?
It's me, Cindy. Rick.
Oh, really? What are you doing with your mom's phone, Rick?
I just walked in the room intending to confront Mom over what she did to you, but she took one look at me and bolted out the door.
What? She did? How embarrassing. If she prepared to poison me, she should prepare to face the consequences. But running away before the conversation even starts, I guess we can take that as a confession anyways.
I'll go out and look for her. She's got a bad knee. She can't run for more than a couple blocks before she'll start breaking down, so I'll catch her. And when I do, I'll take care of her.
You sure jumped into action, Rick. Thank you so much for doing this. You're the best husband I could have asked for.
No, a better husband would have noticed that his mother was abusing his wife a lot sooner than me.
Don't be so hard on yourself. What's important is what you did after you noticed. Really though, she ran away. That's kind of disappointing.
Right? I was psyched up to give her a lesson she'll never forget.
It's weird too, because in our conversation up until now, she's been super confident that that you would take her side. So either she genuinely doesn't think she's done anything wrong, or else she's just one of the best actresses in the world.
It's the latter, definitely. Mom's always had really good interpersonal skills. She can make pretty much anyone like her if she really wants to. But none of it is real. It's all an act. Deep down inside, she's just a bitter, self-serving, jealous old woman who's mad some girl stole her son away from her. But even still, it's shocking to think she was willing to go this far. I wonder what set her off. Any ideas?
I would if it was because of the laundry thing from a few weeks ago. You remember the shirt I bought you for your birthday? Well, she ripped it to shreds, along with a bunch of our other clothes.
You're kidding!
I wish. And when she did, I did something I don't usually do. I stood up to her, told her directly that I knew she did it and wanted it to stop. That must have been what did it. You're gonna have to get her good for this, Rick.
Oh yeah, I intend to do just that.
I'll bet. All it took was one look at your face for her to run like a scared little kid, huh? You must have come at her looking like the Grim Reaper or something.
Don't worry, that was a side of me that you will never have to see. That's why I sent you home. I didn't want you to be around when I got like that.
Wow, Rick, it makes me so happy to see you get so angry on my behalf.
Like I said, I'm just fulfilling my duties as your husband. I'll take care of her really quick and be back home in time for dinner. Would you mind whipping something up for me? In the mood to cook?
Sure. I'll make your favorite chicken stir-fry.
Nice! Looking forward to it.
Hey, could I make one request?
Anything. You name it, it's done.
I've been dealing with anxiety every time we go see your mom for as long as we've been married. I would keep it to myself because I was afraid of what would happen if I came between you and your mom. It was sure to cause a lot of friction in our marriage, and without any evidence, your mom could have just talked her way out of it. She needs to know exactly how she made me feel all this time. Don't let her off easy, Rick. Make her pay.
Your wish is my command, milady. Now if you'll excuse me, this knight in shining armor has a dragon to slay. Figuratively, of course.
Excuse me, Cindy. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to a brief moment of your time. I'm not going to insult you and say anything inappropriate at all. My son made me see how unacceptable my behavior towards you was, and I want you to know that I'm very, very sorry. So whenever you get a moment, if you could help me with something, I'd deeply appreciate it. What do you want? It's my son. I haven't been able to speak to him for a month. He won't return any of my calls or texts. It's tearing me apart inside not being able to speak with him. Could you ask him to give me a call, anytime soon? Even if I wanted to help you repair your relationship with your son, and I don't for the record, but even if I did, it wouldn't do a bit of good. He won't talk to you. But why, though? Why won't my own son give me the time of day? You should know better than anyone else why that is. I know it has to do with that nasty little incident with the coffee from last month, but don't you think I've been punished enough already? If you're still calling it a little incident, then I'd say it's clear you need more punishment. But he lectured me for hours on end that day. The things he said to me, it was too much for my poor old heart to take. I was crying for hours until he left. Yep, that's still not enough. Then tell me what punishment would be enough. A complete and indefinite severance of ties. Never contact us again. That's ridiculous, though. I'm aware that I was in the wrong, but don't you think this is a step too far? No, I don't, and neither does Rick. Cutting you off was his suggestion, by the way. He felt terrible about taking so long to realize what you're doing to me. He spent as much time that evening apologizing to me as he did scolding you. He told me that he wants to spend the rest of his life making amends. That means completely shutting you out and devoting himself entirely to me. Oh, that's it. I can't talk to you. I'll just have to go over to your place and talk to Rick directly. Don't waste your time. We're not there. What do you mean? We moved. You did? But when? A few days ago, actually. We've been preparing to move ever since that night Rick blew up on you. It was tough to look for a new place on such short notice, but Rick managed to find a super nice apartment that's just what we needed. He never told me about that. What's your new address? You think I'm gonna tell you? Not a chance. Oh, what do you want from me? I told you I was sorry. I promise I'll change my ways. You have no reason to continue to hold this childish grudge against me. It's not like I ever physically harmed you. Is that what you think? Well, of course. You never drank the coffee, did you? Your constant verbal and emotional abuse has impacted every fiber of my being. Whenever we went over to your house, I would have stomach aches, headaches, chills, muscle cramps. That's how much you've hurt me, Mom. It's clear to me that you'll never understand that, though, so I'm not gonna bother trying anymore. Now, before I block your number, it seems like Rick has a message for you. I'm gonna pass the phone to him.
Hey, Mom, it's me.
Oh, there you are, Rick. I've been wanting to talk to you for so long.
I'm not here to talk to you. I'm only doing this to give you one last message. I will never, ever forgive you for what you've done to my wife. Cindy says you're asking what punishment would be enough? Well, there's no punishment that would be enough for you. The wounds you've caused both Cindy and me have cut deep, and the only way we can begin to heal is to remove you from our lives. If you feel at all sorry for what you've done, you'll spend the rest of your life cursing yourself for being such a fool. Goodbye.
Okay, did you get all that? I'm gonna block your number now. This can't be. Why is this happening to me? You really need to know you're a bad person, a monster really, and an even worse mother. The only person who sees you as some saint-like maternity figure is you. never heard from her again after that. We both blocked her number, but we also went out and got new phones just in case. It didn't take Rick long to forget all about his wicked mother. Now he spends as much time as he can on making me feel as loved as possible. I have to admit, cutting off contact with his own mother was a really big move, but the weight of the decision just goes to show the weight of his love for me, and for that, I'll forever be grateful. I want to spend the rest of my life repaying him for the love and kindness.
Mike, tomorrow you're going to take Faith out to play, right? You remember the promise, don't you? About how you'd be taking her to her favorite park for the day?
Huh? Of course I remember. You don't need to keep asking me. It's fine, really.
You say that, but you always forget, don't you? How many times have you canceled plans with Faith at the last minute before again?
I don't think it's been that many times. I'm sure I've kept most of the promises I made.
What are you talking about? You've actually kept fewer promises than you've broken. You're always saying that you'll take her out, but then something comes up and it falls through. I'm telling you, you really need to spend more time with Faith. She's always asking for you, and you hardly ever follow through. It's really sad how little attention she gets from you.
I do spend time with her. We go to the park together on my days off. I'm not ignoring her, you know. Jeez, can't you just let a man be for once instead of nagging them to death?
You just take her there and leave her to play by herself, though. That's not really spending time with her at all, actually. You just sit there and she has to entertain herself like always. That's not playing with her, Mike. You need to actually get involved. Faith often says she's upset because you don't play with her, and it breaks my heart to hear that. She's been waiting for you to play with her, and you just leave her alone. Don't you see that?
No, I really don't think that's what happens. I'm sure she has a good time, even when I'm not actively playing with her.
I heard from her that you just sit there looking at your phone while she plays alone. Honestly, I'm getting tired of hearing this. You probably don't even realize how much she needs you to engage with her. You're probably just playing your games again, right? That's why she's been feeling so neglected. Tomorrow, when she's looking forward to spending time with you, make sure to actually play with her this time, okay? You've got to stop letting her down.
I already play with her, I do, but Faith is always asking for more. I can't be at her beck and call all the time. She's the one who's being too demanding.
If you were really spending enough time with her, she wouldn't feel the way she does. She wouldn't be saying all that. She just wants to be with you, to feel like you're really there with her. She's not being selfish. She's just asking for your attention. It's not a lot to ask, is it? You really need to stop blaming her and start looking at yourself. I don't think you realize how much she craves your affection. She needs her father, Mike, not just someone who's physically present, but not really there emotionally.
Oh, please, I'm not the one who's at fault here. You're just spoiling her too much, that's all. You're the one who always gives in to whatever she wants, and now she's just acting out because of it. I don't think I'm the one who's really making her this way.
Oh, come on. You're the one who's spoiled, not Faith. You were the youngest son in your family, always pampered and treated like the special one, so I'm not surprised that you're so selfish. You think everything revolves around you and you never want to admit that you have any flaws. Maybe you should take a good look at yourself before blaming anyone else.
You've got to be kidding me! You're always so critical, always pointing out my flaws. It's getting really old, you know. You always have something to complain about, but you don't see your own issues. It's like you don't even care about how much you nag. It's exhausting.
Faith is an only child, Mike. She doesn't have anyone else to play with on her own. Her parents should be the ones to spend time with her, especially on her days off. She's been waiting for tomorrow, all excited about you taking her out, and you can't just cancel on her like you usually do. Do you understand how disappointed she'll be? She's looking forward to it so much. You need to follow through for her sake. Don't break her heart again.
I said I get it. Can you stop nagging now? I understand, okay? I'll make sure to spend time with her, but you don't have to keep repeating yourself over and over.
If you were a good father to begin with, I wouldn't have to say anything at all. But you're always all talk, making promises and never keeping them. You act like you're this great dad, but you never actually do anything. I'm not asking for perfection, but I do expect you to be involved, to take some responsibility, and I'm not seeing that from you, Mike. You just sit there criticizing me, but when it comes to doing something yourself, you're never there.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that you talk a big game about being a father, but you don't back it up with actions. You always have something to say about my parenting, but you don't even help. You don't play with the kids. You don't take responsibility for anything. It's like you think being a dad means just being there sometimes, but you have to actually do things too. You're neglecting your role and it's affecting Faith. She's craving your attention, but you're too busy doing other things.
I can play with her, I'm telling you. It's just that you're always on my case and I can't take it anymore. I'm doing my best here and it's frustrating to hear you criticize me all the time. If I try to do anything, you say it's not good enough. It's always something with you.
You say that, but I don't see any real effort from you. It's just words, Mike. You've been neglecting Faith and you can't even see it. Maybe it's time for you to stop making excuses and start acting like the father you're supposed to be. Mike, what are you doing? Answer the phone. I've been calling you nonstop since earlier.
Huh? What is this number of missed calls? What's with all these missed calls? I'm in the middle of playing with Faith and it's really bothering me. You told me to take her out, so don't interrupt us.
Don't mess around. The one you're playing with isn't even our daughter.
What?
Get out of the hotel. I know everything.
Hotel? What are you talking about?
You're there, aren't you?
Are you sleep talking or something? There's no way I'm at a hotel. Faith is with me too.
What are you saying? Don't try to make me laugh, you liar.
What's with all the nonsense you've been saying? The hotel? I don't understand what you're talking about at all.
The one who doesn't understand is you. I heard about it from Faith and I was horrified.
Huh? What do you mean you heard it from Faith? Faith is here with me. She's been with me the whole time today, playing together.
That's impossible. Faith is with me right now, at the hospital.
The hospital?
Faith was taken by ambulance and I got the call. Of course you didn't notice anything was wrong with our daughter, did you? You were at the hotel the whole time, right?
Wait a minute, why is Faith at the hospital?
She was found collapsed in the street. It was heat stroke, apparently.
Heat stroke?
You left Faith in the car, didn't you? In this sweltering heat? What were you thinking, leaving her like that?
I made sure to leave the windows open.
Are you stupid? Opening the windows doesn't make any significant difference in the car's internal temperature. Faith couldn't stand it and tried to escape from the window on her own. It's a good thing she's a smart kid.
She managed to get out through that gap?
She's thin, so she got out okay, but if she hadn't been able to get out? Someone passing by called an ambulance and she was rushed to the nearest hospital for treatment.
So she's okay?
By the time I got to the hospital, she had regained consciousness. She's able to talk now.
I see. That's a relief. But still, how did they contact you?
Faith has all kinds of allergies from birth, right? Whenever we go out, I make sure to give her a contact book.
A contact book from her kindergarten?
Not the kindergarten one, I made a separate one. I guess you never noticed it all this time.
I didn't know anything about that.
I've talked about it several times before, though. You just weren't paying attention. It contains a list of things she's allergic to and emergency contacts. It's for when something happens, so she can get the right treatment immediately.
You're really thorough. You're kind of overly nervous, though.
But thanks to that, I was contacted. That cautiousness paid off.
Anyway, Faith is fine, right?
She's fine, but she's been saying something weird.
Something weird?
She pointed out the window and said, "Daddy went into that castle over there." You understand, right? There's a big hotel shaped like a castle on the outskirts of town. And of course, it's not a normal hotel, is it? I can even see it from her hospital room. That's how I knew you were at that hotel. There's only one reason someone would go there, right? You're with some woman now, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. But even so, you don't have the right to yell at me about it.
You have some nerve acting all big and tough when you're the one who cheated. I haven't even heard an apology from you yet.
The reason I cheated was because there were issues at home. My wife lost her charm, and Faith is spoiled and selfish. Of course I ended up looking elsewhere.
What is that? Are you blaming us now? Are you saying that your cheating is our fault?
When a husband cheats, it's usually because the wife doesn't do enough to keep him at home. If you don't put in any effort to keep your husband happy, this is what happens.
I'm angry about the affair, but more than that, I am furious about what you did to Faith. Do you realize that Faith could have lost her life because of you? Do you understand that? You are an awful father.
In the end, she's okay, isn't she? So what's the big deal?
That doesn't mean you get a free pass. Did you think buying a bunch of snacks for Faith would make up for it?
Faith agreed to stay in the car. It's not like I forced her.
Faith told me she was scared of you and couldn't say no. She said you told her to stay in the car and threatened her not to tell me.
I didn't threaten her. Again, Faith is lying. She's just like you, a troublesome woman.
To blame Faith after you made her suffer? What kind of person are you?
She's recovered, so just go home quickly. It's a waste of money for her to stay in the hospital.
You're not going to visit the hospital?
What's the point? I'm not going to pick her up. You two can go home by yourselves.
I'm so glad it's a holiday today. It was a last-minute call, but everyone's going to come over. Are you planning to just ignore the messages? Well, whatever. The sisters are heading to the hospital where you are now, so... All right, see you soon.
What? My sisters are coming here?
Oh, you replied pretty quickly. Looks like my plan worked perfectly, huh?
Are you seriously telling me my sisters are coming here?
Yep, that's right. All 4 of your sisters are on their way. It's been a while since you've seen them, hasn't it? You usually avoid meeting up with them, don't you? Are you that uncomfortable around them?
Did you contact my sisters to tell them to come?
Who else would I contact? I've made sure to tell them all about what happened today.
What the hell are you doing, airing our family's delicate issues to the outside world? You never even contact them, so why today of all days?
Huh? What did you expect me to do? You're hopeless and useless, and all you ever do is get defensive and refuse to take any responsibility. So I decided to let your sisters handle this.
You've gotta be kidding me.
Your sisters are all furious with you. And can you blame them? You cheated, put our daughter's life in danger, and then tried to make it our fault. Your sisters are not going to let you get away with this.
Why, of all people, did you contact my sisters?
I figured your parents would be too weak for this. You're the youngest of 5 siblings, and you've never won a fight with your sisters, have you? You were always pampered by your parents because you're the youngest son, but your sisters? They're terrifying.
Those sisters of mine are monsters! You have no idea how scary they are!
Well, those scary sisters of yours are actually coming together to handle this for you. This is really helping me out. The one who lives closest to you is probably already on her way here. Can't wait to see what happens.
Already? This is seriously bad!
You should have just come to the hospital already. It's your own fault for digging yourself into this hole.
Call my sisters and tell them to go back right now!
It's too late for that. They're already on their way. If you had any time to complain, you should have run away by now. You might even get caught with your little affair partner too, you know? Good job today. I was able to watch the entire scene when you got scolded by your sisters during the video call. The woman you were having an affair with was crying uncontrollably. Honestly, it was hard to even watch because it was so intense.
I'm so sorry for what I did. I truly regret it.
Looks like your sisters really made you apologize. It's good to see you finally admit what you did. It's about time you said something. I had almost given up on hearing an apology from you.
I know I'm a terrible father. I don't deserve any sympathy. Please, I'm truly sorry for everything that's happened.
It was actually kind of funny watching you kneel outside the hotel, doing that whole act of submission. It looked so pitiful. On top of all that, Faith is going to be admitted to the hospital today, so I might go over there to check on her. I don't want to just leave everything to your sisters, as much as I trust them to handle things.
Enough already! I don't want to deal with this anymore. I just want to go home. Can we please just end it? You've made your point, haven't you?
It seems like you've really given up now. Just a little while ago, you were acting so proud and strong, like nothing could faze you. Now look at you. It's almost pathetic how quickly you've broken down.
You don't understand anything, do you? It's easy for you to sit there and talk like that. You have no idea what kind of pressure I'm under right now. You don't know the half of it.
Well, that's because you really don't know how bad your situation is. Your sisters didn't just scold you, you know. They made sure to interrogate your mistress as well. I have to say, they did a thorough job, and now I know all of her personal details. Her name, address, phone number, even where she works. I know it all now.
Oh, really? So what else did you find out about her?
She works at the same company as you, believe it or not.
Wait, really? She works at the same place?
Yes, and guess what else? She's married too.
What? She's married?
Yeah, apparently you two were planning to leave your spouses and be together.
No, that's not how it was. She wasn't gonna leave her husband for me. This was just a fling, a momentary lapse in judgment. It wasn't meant to be anything serious, I swear.
Come on, you're kidding yourself. This wasn't just a casual fling. If it had been, you wouldn't have been sneaking around like this. And now you're trying to cover it up by lying again. Well, your mistress's husband wasn't so naive.
Wait, what? You talked to him?
Yeah, I called him. I got his number from your mistress.
Why would you call her husband? Are you trying to make things worse?
Well, I had to explain the situation, didn't I? I told him everything. Of course, he was furious. He's planning on suing you for alimony.
What? Alimony? No, that can't be right. I don't have money for something like that. You can't be serious.
Alimony isn't something to joke about, you know. You're going to be hit with a massive financial burden. And considering how you just bought that car, I'm guessing you're not exactly rolling in cash right now.
I'm telling you, I don't have the money. I just made a big purchase. You don't understand how tough things are right now.
Well, I'm not going to be the one who has to pay it. That's not my problem. Plus, I'm divorcing you, so I'll be in the clear. But I'm still going to sue you and your mistress for alimony. You'll be paying for this one way or another.
Wait, double alimony? Seriously? That's gonna ruin me!
Well, maybe you and your mistress should figure out how to split the bill together. After all, you're both responsible for this mess.
I told you she's not gonna marry me! She's not serious about anything!
Well, you're on your own then. Just don't come crying to me for help. By the way, don't even think about asking your family for assistance. Your sisters have already told your parents not to get involved and to let you handle this yourself.
You've gotta be kidding me! Are your sisters hoping I'll go bankrupt?
They said they want you to learn your lesson the hard way. They're not going to let you get away with this without facing real consequences. I have to say I respect them for not giving you any breaks, even though you're family.
They really are ruthless, aren't they?
Your sisters aren't about to coddle you. They want to make sure you never make the same mistake again. They don't care if it's going to hurt you. They're determined to make you suffer for what you've done.
Okay, I'll pay the alimony. Just please don't make this worse than it already is. Especially if this gets out to my workplace. I can't afford for that to happen.
You are really worried about your job image, huh? Well, I can understand that. If your affair gets out, you'll be in for some serious trouble. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
I've worked so hard to maintain a professional reputation at work. My bosses like the image I've built for myself. If this scandal gets out, I won't be able to show my face at work again. My career will be over.
Your reputation? You think you can hide behind that? It's all a joke. You're just fooling yourself. You should see how you really act when no one's watching.
I'm not fooling myself. Everyone at work has to put on a good front. It's just how things are in the professional world. If this gets exposed, I won't be able to go back to my office. I'll be completely humiliated.
Well, I guess you'll just have to live with that humiliation. You'll have to deal with the shame and guilt every day. That's what you get for making such foolish decisions.
I should have just taken Faith to the park today. Why couldn't I just have been patient? Why couldn't I have made better choices?
Just now, Faith asked me, "Is Daddy a prince?" She thought you were some kind of hero. I couldn't help but laugh.
A prince? Me? How in the world?
She must have thought that because you were going into that hotel. She asked if you were off to save a princess. Isn't it hilarious? A guy who gets beaten up by a woman in front of a hotel can hardly be called a prince, right? After everything that had transpired, Mike ultimately found himself in a situation where there was no escape. The ramifications of his infidelity were far-reaching, and despite his initial hopes that things could simply be smoothed over, it became increasingly evident that such wishes were nothing more than a fantasy. The damage had already been done, and the consequences were unavoidable. He was forced to pay a substantial sum in alimony, a financial burden that would haunt him for years to come. It was the least of what he could do, considering the betrayal he had inflicted on both me and our daughter. At first, Mike had thought he could avoid the full impact of his actions, but reality hit him hard when he was faced with the legal and emotional consequences of his affair. Although the woman with whom Mike had been involved didn't immediately end her marriage, the consequences for her were just as severe. While she had managed to keep the facade of a happy marriage intact for a time, it became apparent that the affair couldn't stay hidden forever. Despite her husband's apparent willingness to stay, it seemed that she couldn't escape the ripple effects of her betrayal. The affair had left scars that were impossible to cover up, and eventually, those wounds began to bleed into every aspect of her life. Not only had she destroyed the trust in her marriage, but she also had to contend with the fallout of her actions at work. She chose to quit her job, leaving behind her career, possibly in an attempt to avoid the judgment and the consequences of the affair becoming public knowledge. Word had gotten out about her involvement with Mike, and it didn't take long for whispers to start circulating. Gossip spread like wildfire through the office, and her position there became untenable. She may have thought she could carry on with business as usual, but once the affair became public knowledge, it was impossible to ignore. She resigned under the pressure of the situation, likely hoping to escape the scrutiny that was building around her. The gossip in the workplace spread far and wide, and it did not take long for everyone to know what had been going on. It was as if the entire office was talking about her and the affair, discussing the affair in hushed tones, and wondering how she could have let things get so out of hand. The whispers weren't just about her actions, they also included details about her personal life and her relationship with Mike. The affair had become the subject of office gossip, and it was impossible for her to return to work as if nothing had happened. Her reputation at the company had been tarnished, and there was no way to repair the damage that had been done. She probably wished she could go back in time and undo everything, but the truth had already been exposed, and there was no going back. As for Mike, while he stayed at his job, it wasn't without difficulty. He was forced to endure a level of discomfort that he hadn't expected. Despite his best efforts to act as if everything was fine, it was clear to everyone around him that the affair had affected him deeply. The gossip and judgment from his colleagues were inescapable, and he soon realized that the facade he had tried to build had crumbled. He wasn't able to carry on as if nothing had happened. The judgment from others was something he couldn't ignore, no matter how much he tried. He found it difficult to focus on his work, constantly preoccupied with the rumors and whispers that followed him wherever he went. It wasn't just an issue of office gossip. It was the overwhelming sense that everyone knew what he had done. His colleagues, who had once respected him, now looked at him with a mixture of disappointment and judgment. Despite the strain of being in that environment, Mike chose to stay at his job. Perhaps he thought it would be easier to simply ride out the storm, to wait for the scandal to blow over. But as time passed, it became clear that nothing would ever be the same again. The affair had shattered not only our marriage, but also his sense of self. His image at work had been forever tainted by the betrayal. He couldn't escape the fact that he had hurt me, his family, and others who had trusted him. The guilt and shame of his actions weighed heavily on him, and it was becoming more and more difficult for him to function normally. Every day felt like a struggle, as he had to face the consequences of his decisions. The man he had once been, confident and respected, was now a shadow of his former self, constantly living under the cloud of his past mistakes. Meanwhile, my life had taken a different turn. While the pain and heartbreak of Mike's betrayal had initially overwhelmed me, I had slowly begun to rebuild my life. My daughter and I were learning to live without him. It was difficult at first. The emotional toll had been immense, and there were times when I wasn't sure how I would cope. But over time, I found the strength I needed to keep moving forward. I had to, for my daughter's sake and for my own. The world didn't stop just because of Mike's mistakes, and I had to find a way to navigate through the mess he had left behind. I couldn't afford to wallow in self-pity. I had to stay strong for her. With Mike's financial contributions, alimony, and child support, I was able to support my daughter. It wasn't an ideal situation, but it was enough to get us by. But what mattered more than the money was the realization that I didn't need Mike. I could take care of myself and my daughter without his help. It was a hard lesson to learn, but it was empowering. I wasn't dependent on him anymore, and I was no longer beholden to his whims. I had my own life to lead, and I wasn't going to let him continue to control it. His actions had forced me to stand up for myself, and that was something I would never regret. It wasn't just Mike who paid for his mistakes. Thanks to my sisters-in-law, who had been incredibly supportive throughout this whole ordeal, I was able to receive the alimony and child support I was owed. They had worked behind the scenes, taking action when I felt like I couldn't do anything. They fought for me when I was too emotionally drained to fight for myself. Their support made all the difference. Without them, I don't know how I would have made it through. They were the ones who made sure Mike followed through on his responsibilities, and they were the ones who helped me navigate the complicated legal process. I could never thank them enough for everything they did for me. The money I received wasn't something I planned to spend frivolously. I didn't want to live from paycheck to paycheck. Instead, I decided to save it for my daughter's future. I wanted to make sure she had the best possible opportunities when she got older, and I knew that education would play a huge role in that. The money Mike and I had once shared, the money he had stolen from our family's trust, would now be used to build a future for her. This money wasn't about getting back at him. It wasn't about revenge. It was about securing her future. My daughter deserved every opportunity I could provide her, and I wasn't going to let Mike's mistakes dictate the course of her life. My daughter, for her part, didn't fully understand what had happened. She was still so young, and the complexity of adult relationships was lost on her. She didn't yet comprehend why her father wasn't around, and she didn't understand the significance of the hotel where Mike had betrayed me. She was still innocent, and I wanted to protect that innocence for as long as I could. She was too young to know the depth of the betrayal that had occurred, but I knew that one day she would have questions. One day she would want to know why things were different, why her father wasn't a part of her life. And when that day came, I would have to tell her the truth. I would have to explain to her why Mike wasn't around, why he wasn't a part of our family anymore. And when she learned the truth, when she understood what he had done, she would know exactly who he was. She would join the many other women who had learned to despise him for his actions. Mike, for all his apologies, would never escape the consequences of his affair. He could say he was sorry 1,000 times, but it wouldn't change anything. The damage was done, and there was no going back. He had lost the trust of everyone who had once believed in him, and he had lost the respect of his daughter, too. No amount of money or apologies could fix what he had broken, and I, for my part, was finally learning to live without him. I had found my strength, and I wasn't going to let his mistakes define me. I was building a future for my daughter, one that didn't depend on Mike or his lies. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. I forgot to mention it, but I'm going out with friends for dinner tonight. I'm not sure how late things are going to be for us, but don't expect me to be home before you go to bed.
Huh? Really? I was actually making dinner at home.
Sorry, all right. Just save it for me and I'll eat it tomorrow morning. Or better yet, you can just have seconds if you'd really like to tonight.
Fine, I understand, but don't you think you've been going out at night a bit too often recently? Even on weekends, you're out quite a bit. I was kind of hoping we could relax together and have some time, just the two of us.
I feel like we're already spending enough time together, though. If anything, we should have a bit more personal time, if you know what I mean.
Then, how about this? How about we plan a little getaway for the upcoming holiday? Maybe a ski resort trip?
Sorry, but I already have plans for the holiday. I appreciate the invite, but it's just not going to work.
Plans? What kind of plans?
Do you really have to dig that deeply? It's just a casual thing with friends. Now that Hannah's in college and living on her own, I feel like I finally have a break from all the child-rearing responsibilities. I want to go out and enjoy myself.
Look, I get it, I really do. It's just, couldn't you make some time for me too? It doesn't have to be a lot. I just thought it might be nice. It would be fun to just sit back and watch a movie or something.
Hey, women have their own things to enjoy, right? Lots of my friends are at the same stage now. Our kids are grown up, so we're all finding time to enjoy ourselves. I feel like I've done my part, and I'm ready to enjoy life a bit. Don't you think I've earned that?
Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going out, but lately it kind of feels like you've been neglecting things at home.
Oh, please. You're perfectly capable of handling house chores yourself, aren't you?
Yes, I am. That's why I've been trying to do more around here. I cook, I clean, I've been keeping things in order.
Then there's no problem, is there? If you're handling it yourself, why do you have to bring it up with me? I've been the one doing all the housework for years. I think I deserve some time to enjoy myself now.
All right, I understand. But even so, I'd like for us to have dinner together every now and then, or maybe go out and enjoy a quiet outing. We used to go on drives together. Why can't we do something like that again?
Oh, please. Hearing that from you now that you're getting older.
Hey, we're the same age, you know.
Oh, but I take care of my appearance and focus on beauty routines, so don't go lumping me in with just any old man, all right?
Okay, you have a point, but still.
It just makes me a little uneasy when you talk like this.
Uneasy? How?
Well, I mean, it makes me wonder how things will be in the future. Once you're retired, for example. I feel like you're going to start suggesting little outings, and then there'll be times when you'll want to follow me around all the time, like a little goldfish that can't be left alone. Just thinking about it is a bit unsettling.
Hey, I'm not suggesting we spend every second together. I just think it would be nice to slow down sometimes, enjoy some quiet moments together, that's all.
Yes, I get it. But I still hope you can find a way to live without depending on me so much. Maybe you could even pick a new hobby or something. That way you'd have your own interests and you wouldn't be so focused on what I'm doing all the time.
But if I'm not focused on you, wouldn't that mean we're just growing apart?
Marriage is like that sometimes, Look, let's just end this conversation here. I'm out right now trying to enjoy myself. So please, don't text or call me for the rest of the evening. I'll catch the last train home, so just go to bed first. Camden, are you still at home?
Yeah, I'm just about to head out to the supermarket to pick up some groceries.
Sorry to ask, but could you swing by the dry cleaners and pick up my shirt? I want to wear it for the trip tomorrow.
Sure, no problem. Do you have the ticket for it?
It should be in the pocket of one of my recent jackets, I think.
That's a little vague.
It's in one of the jackets at the front of the closet, so you'll find it easily.
All right, I'll look for it. So what time will you be back tonight?
Probably around 8 p.m. I want to get a good night's sleep since we'll be leaving for the trip tomorrow.
Got it. In that case, I'll make dinner for both of us.
Oh, actually, don't worry about dinner for me. After my shift, I'm meeting a friend for a meal.
I was hoping we could eat together since it's one of your days off.
Can't be helped, can it? And don't act so pouty like an old man. It's kind of creepy.
It's just that you'll be away on the trip tomorrow, and we haven't had dinner together for a week now.
Once I'm back, I'll be home for a while, so we'll have more time then.
All right, if that's the case. Oh, speaking of which, Hannah said she won't be coming home during her summer break. I was hoping we could do something as a family, but I guess that's not happening.
She's a college student now. Spending time with friends is probably more fun for her than hanging out with family.
Maybe so, but I feel like she should at least come home once in a while. She did say she'll be around on the 4th of July, though.
Isn't it a good thing that she's becoming independent? She's a responsible kid. You don't have to worry about her getting into trouble.
Hannah might be responsible, but who knows about the people around her? When she's home next, I should ask her about how things are going.
If you start grilling her with questions, she's just going to think you're annoying, you know. With girls, it's better to maintain a bit of distance. If she ever needs help, she'll come to us on her own.
You think so?
I know so. I went through the same thing. Kids around her age appreciate being left to their own lives. It's good for them.
All right, I'll hold back and won't be too pushy.
That's for the best. So anyway, can you handle the dry cleaning for me?
Hannah, I just got a call from the hospital. I'm not sure if you're able to check your phone right now, but I'm on my way there in a taxi.
Dad, you don't need to rush. I'm really sorry for worrying you. I just felt a bit lightheaded, so it's not a big deal.
It's serious enough that they admitted you to the hospital, and you collapsed at your part-time job, right? They said it was due to overwork. Have things been that busy for you?
Maybe it's because I'm juggling 3 part-time jobs. Since it's summer break, I probably took on too many shifts. But it's the best time to make money, so I thought I'd push myself.
3 jobs? Why do you need so much money? I've been sending you $1,500 every month, haven't I?
Huh? I haven't gotten anything like that.
What? Ever since you started college, I've been sending it every month. Your mother told me she was making the transfers too. She'd been updating me about it regularly.
Well, I haven't received any of that money. Mom told me I had to earn my own living expenses and tuition.
What?
It's true. That's why I've been working so many part-time jobs. I've been saving up, especially since I need to pay for next semester's tuition.
I was planning to cover the tuition for the 2nd semester myself.
I didn't know that. Mom told me I should be grateful she even paid for the 1st semester's tuition and entrance fees. That's all she said she would do.
This can't be happening.
It's not a lie. If I'd been getting any of that money, I wouldn't have needed to work like this.
I believe you. I don't think you're lying.
But if that's true, then does that mean Mom was lying to you?
It seems that way. I can't believe she'd do something like this.
You should believe it. Mom has no problem lying like that.
Hey, don't talk about her that way.
But I've seen her with my own eyes. I once spotted her while I was on my way home from a shift.
What do you mean?
She was walking with a younger man.
Maybe it was just someone from her part-time job?
It didn't feel that way, and it was almost the last train of the night. I thought about asking her about it, but I got scared. I even thought about talking to you, Dad, but I couldn't bring myself to. I didn't have the time or mental space to think about it. My mind was completely focused on making and saving money every day.
Hannah, I'm so sorry. I should have noticed what was going on.
It's all right. I couldn't bring myself to tell you anyway. You kept reaching out to me, but all I could give you were curt replies. I kept telling myself that I shouldn't rely on you. Looking back, it feels foolish now. I could only think about myself back then.
Hannah, stop working those jobs. I'll cover your tuition and living expenses from now on. Just focus on resting for now. It's your summer break, and I'm sure you have a lot of things you'd like to do.
Are you sure?
Of course! I was already sending you money from the beginning. It's your mom who complicated things.
But what about Mom? What'll you do?
I'll figure that out. To be honest, I'm in a bit of a panic myself right now.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything like that.
You didn't do anything wrong. Actually, I've felt something was off with your mother's behavior lately, too.
Really?
Yes, and right now your mother's out of town on a trip. This might be the right time for me to really think things over.
Did you tell Mom that I collapsed?
I left her a voicemail since the call went to her answering machine. She hasn't read the message yet, though.
I see. All right, please be careful on your way here. I'm in room 515 on the 5th floor. Camden, I'm sorry, but could you handle dinner again tonight? They asked me to stay overtime at work, and I don't think I'll make it back in time to cook.
You promised you'd be back early tonight, though, didn't you?
It's work, Camden. There's nothing I can do about it. Oh, why not ask Hannah? Isn't she just lying around at home anyway?
Hannah isn't lying around. She collapsed from exhaustion, remember? She's recuperating.
It's been 2 weeks since she collapsed. Making dinner isn't that big of a deal at this point.
Are you really not concerned about your own daughter collapsing?
Of course I was worried, but it's not like it's life-threatening, is it? Besides, if she fainted from exhaustion, she probably wasn't managing her health very well. It's her own responsibility.
Unbelievable. You didn't even come back from your trip when you found out she collapsed. Now she's finally starting to feel better and you still don't seem to care.
Why are you making such a big deal out of this? It's not like I don't care, Camden. And anyway, when I got back from my trip, you were too busy to really spend time with her yourself. Don't act like you're the only one who cares.
Forget it. You know what? Just don't even come home tonight.
What? What's with the attitude? You're getting this upset just because I have to work late?
Don't pretend it's work. I already know the truth. I know you've been taking the money I've been sending to Hannah and using it to have fun with some other man.
What? Camden, that's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
You thought you could get away with it forever? You took the money I sent for our daughter, lied to me every month that you were transferring it to her, and then told Hannah to fend for herself and earn her own way? Do you have any idea how low that is?
No, you don't understand. I wanted Hannah to gain some life experience. I was planning to give her the money later, all at once.
Then go ahead and transfer it all to her in full by tomorrow. Hannah quit her jobs already.
I can't. I don't have it right now.
Of course you don't. You've spent it all. While you were off traveling, I looked into our finances. Your paycheck never made it to our savings account. You've been draining our savings too, haven't you? Pulling money out month after month.
I'm sorry.
So you finally admit it?
But I wasn't cheating. I swear that part's not true.
Do you want to know why I didn't confront you about the missing money right away? I wanted time to look into your infidelity. I've gathered the evidence. I've seen what you're doing. So are you still gonna claim it didn't happen?
It's not what you think. It's not infidelity if there's money involved. It was just a fling. Nothing serious.
Call it whatever you want, but you betrayed me. And what's worse, you betrayed Hannah. The fact that you went behind your own daughter's back and used her money knowing she was overworking herself is disgusting.
When it started, I swear, I didn't plan for it to get this far. I was going to stop, but I just couldn't let it go.
Your selfishness put our daughter in the hospital.
I know that now.
No, you really don't. Since Hannah has been home recuperating, you've been acting more on edge. I bet you were terrified I'd find out about the money and about him, weren't you? Even now, all you're thinking about is yourself.
I'm sorry, Camden. I'll return all the money I used. I'll cut ties with him. I swear I'll change.
Don't bother. You won't have to change for me. I'm done with you.
What? Camden?
The reason I wanted you to come home tonight was so I could tell you this. I'm leaving you. I've said what I needed to say. You're free to live however you want from now on.
Please, Camden, I'm coming home right now. I'll explain everything.
Really? What happened to that overtime you just mentioned?
This isn't the time for work. I can't think about that right now.
So you're lying again. I already know you're with him. The private investigator's been keeping me updated.
I'm sorry. I won't lie anymore. Just please listen to me one last time.
All these years, I've tried to fix things between us. I've tried to keep this family together, to make time for you, but you're the one who shut me out.
I know, I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Camden. I'll apologize to Hannah, too. I know I've hurt her the most.
She doesn't want to see you. She said so herself, but this should be convenient for you, shouldn't it? Now you don't have to worry about seeing my face after I retire. Isn't that what you wanted?
No, that's not what I want. Camden, please, forget what I said before. I don't know what I was thinking. I want to live with you. I want our family together. I'm so sorry. Just please, don't leave me.
No, I won't forget. Ever. You're the one who told me not to rely on you and to live my life without you, remember? So I'll do just that. You don't have to worry about me anymore because I'm done worrying about you. After that, my wife and daughter, who had hurriedly returned home, and I sat down to discuss the divorce together. It was a moment none of us had anticipated, and yet, in some ways, we had all known it was coming. The tension in the room was unbearable, and it felt like the air was thick with the weight of the situation. Sitting there with my daughter and my wife, both of whom were looking at me with a mix of anxiety and anticipation, I didn't know how to begin. It was one of those moments where you could feel your whole life shifting beneath you. My wife, having clearly been crying and emotionally drained, seemed to hold on to some small shred of hope. I could see it in her eyes. She still wanted to fix things, to believe that we could rebuild our relationship and move forward. She kept suggesting that we could try therapy, that we could try to work through it all. But the more she spoke, the heavier the weight on my heart became. I wasn't sure if it was out of anger, disappointment, or just sheer exhaustion, but I couldn't bring myself to entertain the idea of reconciliation. The trust had been shattered in ways that couldn't be fixed with words or promises. She continued to speak, suggesting different ways we could rebuild our marriage, offering ideas for counseling, and even talking about how we could go on a vacation to clear our heads. But each word felt like a dagger. It was like she was trying to force the situation into a mold that no longer fit. I had already come to terms with what had happened. I had spent weeks trying to understand, trying to come to grips with her betrayal. And no matter how many times she suggested we fix things, the damage felt irreversible. My heart was already heavy with the realization that this marriage was over, and no matter how much she wanted to cling to the hope of reconciliation, I couldn't follow her into that denial. She hadn't just made one mistake. It wasn't something that could be blamed on a single error in judgment. It was the culmination of months, maybe even years of lies, deceit, and betrayal. She had destroyed the trust that was at the core of our relationship. There was no going back from that. The conversation went in circles. Every time I tried to explain how deep the hurt ran, my wife would respond with more excuses, more apologies, and more ideas for how we could fix things. But it all sounded hollow to me. Her words were no longer meaningful because they didn't match the actions that had led us to this point. I couldn't hear her promises anymore. They felt like empty words that held no weight. As the minutes stretched into what felt like hours, my daughter, who had been sitting quietly, clearly growing more and more frustrated with each passing moment, finally spoke up. Her voice, though small, rang with the authority of someone who had had enough. "This is pointless," she said, her tone trembling with emotion. "Mom, you need to leave. This is disgusting. Get out!" Her words were sharp and decisive. and as she stood up, her actions followed. She grabbed a few things, throwing them at her mother, and it was clear that she had reached her breaking point. The tension in the room broke, and for a brief moment, there was silence. My wife, shocked by my daughter's outburst, stood frozen for a moment. I could see the hurt in her eyes, but I also saw a realization dawning on her face. She had never imagined that it would come to this, that her daughter would be the one to call for the end. But the truth was, this wasn't just my fight. This was my daughter's life too. She had been affected by the choices my wife had made, and it was clear that she was no longer willing to pretend that everything was okay. I couldn't blame her for that. In fact, I was proud of her for standing up for what she knew was right. There was no more pretending, no more trying to salvage something that was already beyond saving. My wife, after a long pause, packed her things and left. She didn't say much, but the quiet resignation in her movements spoke volumes. She walked out the door, and with that, it felt like a chapter of our lives had finally closed. My daughter, standing beside me, looked at me with a mixture of anger and relief. She didn't want to see her mother leave, but at the same time, she knew it was for the best. It was the first step toward healing, even though we both knew the road ahead would be long. The next day, my wife returned with her parents in tow. They came to apologize, to beg for forgiveness, and to try to make things right. But honestly, it was too little too late. I couldn't bring myself to listen to her apologies anymore. Her words no longer held any weight, and neither did her parents' pleading. The damage had been done, and no amount of apologizing was going to change that. I had made up my mind, and my daughter and I were going to move on with our lives, no matter how hard it was. Over the next month, there were several more attempts to talk things through. My wife called repeatedly, asking if we could talk, if we could somehow find a way to fix things. She wanted us to go to counseling, to sit down with a professional and work through our issues. But as each day passed, I felt more and more sure that this was not something that could be fixed. She had already made her choices, and those choices had led us here. I didn't want to keep going in circles, reliving the same painful moments over and over again. Finally, after weeks of emotional turmoil, we reached a point where we both knew the inevitable was coming. My wife reluctantly agreed to sign the divorce papers. There were tears, but they felt more like a release than anything else. It was over. The papers were signed, and we both agreed that it was time to move on. My daughter, who had been silently watching everything unfold, was granted full custody of me. My wife would continue to live at her parents' house, and that was that. The relief was immediate, but it was also bittersweet. I had hoped for so long that we could somehow make things work. But deep down, I knew that this was the only option left. There was no other way. The lies, the deceit, the broken trust. They were too much for any relationship to survive. It wasn't just that we had drifted apart. It was that the foundation of our marriage had been destroyed beyond repair. And that was a truth I had to face no matter how hard it was. In the weeks that followed, I learned more about what had really been happening. My wife had been involved with a younger man, someone she had met through a dating app. She had been secretly seeing him for months, and what's worse, she had been financially supporting him. I couldn't believe it. The betrayal stung in a way I couldn't put into words. She had been lying to me, keeping secrets, and now I knew that all of it had been for someone else. My anger flared when I learned about the extent of it. The thought of her choosing someone else over our family was more painful than I could have ever imagined. Her parents, despite everything, continued to try to support her. They came to visit, offering their help, trying to make her feel like there was a way out of the mess she had made. But for me, it was too late for that. I couldn't bring myself to care anymore. My focus was on my daughter, on trying to rebuild our lives together. My daughter had already been through so much, and I wasn't going to let her go through any more. She was my priority now. We moved forward, one day at a time, trying to adjust to our new reality. My daughter decided to move back in with me, even though she'd been living on her own for a while. The thought of leaving me alone in the house was something she couldn't bear. "I'm more worried about you than about me," she said. Her concern for me, after everything she had already been through, was overwhelming. I didn't want to burden her, but in that moment I realized just how much she had grown. She had always been a thoughtful, compassionate person, and now, more than ever, I understood how lucky I was to have her in my life. Having her back home was a relief. The house didn't feel so empty anymore. It wasn't just the physical presence that mattered. It was the emotional support we were giving each other. We were both healing, though the scars would remain for a long time. But I knew that with my daughter by my side, we would get through this. We would rebuild, and we would find happiness again. I vowed to myself that I would never let my daughter suffer because of my mistakes. I would protect her, support her, and love her no matter what. She had already been through so much, and I wasn't about to let her down again. I had learned the hard way that life is unpredictable and you can't always control what happens. But I would do everything in my power to make sure my daughter never had to experience that kind of betrayal again. As my daughter and I moved forward, I knew that we had a long road ahead of us. There would be challenges, moments of doubt, and times when the pain of the past would resurface, but we would face it together. I would be there for her, and she'd be there for me. And no matter what, I would never let her forget that she was loved, that she was enough, and that no one could ever take that away from her. As time passed, my wife occasionally reached out. Sometimes it was just a simple message, a brief apology, or a statement about how she regretted everything. Sometimes she would ask if we could meet, if we could try to fix things. But I couldn't entertain those thoughts. I had moved on. The divorce was final, and I had no intention of going back to a life that had brought so much pain and heartache. My focus was on my daughter, and I would continue to support her, no matter what. There were moments when my ex-wife would call, asking if we could meet up or expressing regret over everything that had happened. But each time I would remind myself that it was too late. We couldn't undo the damage. The past was behind us, and it was a time for both of us to move forward. I had to focus on building a better future for myself and my daughter. It was tough. But with each passing day, I became more certain that I had made the right decision. The hardest part was over. We had survived the storm, and though the scars would remain, we were starting to heal. My daughter and I were learning how to live again, how to find happiness in the small moments, how to appreciate what we had left. And that was enough. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey, did you call the movers yet? Were you able to get a reservation?
Oh, are you on break right now?
Yeah, I just got the finishing touches on my current project done, so I thought I'd take a breather before I start the next one. So what's the word?
Yeah, I booked them for next weekend.
Awesome. I was worried. Lately, it seems like everyone is moving. The other movers we talked to were booked a month out.
I told you I'd get it done, didn't I? But yeah, this is pretty exciting. We're finally gonna move into our new house.
Right? We should consider ourselves lucky. Most people our age can't afford to build a new house. Everything's more expensive, and no one wants to work construction jobs.
Thank goodness you had all that money saved up from before we got married. If not for that, we would have been stuck with a $1,000 a month mortgage payment for the next 30 years. But we're now homeowners and loan-free. Thanks a bunch for doing that for me, Rhonda.
Well, what else was I gonna spend it on? I can only buy so many shoes. Plus, like you said, we're now loan and rent-free. That's gonna be a big boon to our finances. We'll be able to save a lot more now. We'll make that money back in no time. Hey, so I was wondering, you have the day off today, right? Actually, I thought I saw you didn't have any shifts for the next few days. Would you mind using that free time to do some unpacking?
Yeah, sure, leave it to me. I want to make sure everything goes as smooth as possible when the movers get here. Plus, my mom was kind enough to offer to come by and help us out. I want to leave as little work as possible for her to have to do.
Right, your mom was coming by. She also said she was gonna take us on a little trip to celebrate the new house, huh?
Yeah, but it's just gonna be a few days at that bed and breakfast by the lake. Mom doesn't have it in her to go on any long trips anymore. You took the time off of work, didn't you?
I don't quite remember. I'll have to ask my boss.
Rhonda, you didn't take the time off yet, did you?
Well, it's a really busy season for the company right now.
I knew it! What is with you, Rhonda? You've known about this for weeks now. Why haven't you asked for the time off yet? Do you want to go on this vacation or not?
It's not that I don't want to go. It's just, your mom and I, we don't exactly have the best relationship.
Yeah, that's the understatement of the year. She hates your guts. I'll have to be careful not to leave you two alone together with any sharp objects nearby.
This isn't funny, Archie. You've seen the way she acts when I'm around. Every time I walk in the room, she gets this scary look on her face. It's so uncomfortable for me to be around her.
You should be used to it by this point. I don't know why it still bothers you. And sure, maybe my mom is a bit harsher on you than she should be, but are you gonna keep avoiding her like this for the rest of your life? She's your mom too now, so you need to be doing more to get along with her.
I would love nothing more than that to happen, but it seems like no matter what I do, she just hates me more. What am I supposed to do when she's like that?
Don't act like this is her fault, okay? She can't help it. When she was born, women stayed at home and men went to work. So she sees a woman like you who's making way more than me, and she just doesn't like it. It's like a gag reflex for her. The only thing you can do is keep trying your best to get her to like you.
I've been trying for as long as I've known her. How about this? I'll take the time off from work and go to the trip with you guys, but in exchange, could you tell her we don't need any help with moving next weekend?
Oh, come on, really? You're gonna make me tell my mom not to come help us? You have any idea how disappointed she'll be?
I know, but still, you said she can't handle long trips, right? What makes you think she'll be able to handle carrying boxes and furniture? I'd hate for her to hurt herself.
Those excuses aren't gonna work on me, Rhonda. I already told her that she can come, and she's really looking forward to it. Look, there's nothing for you to worry about anyway. I'll be there, right? I'll do whatever I can to make sure the two of you don't start butting heads.
I don't know if it's fair to call it butting heads. Your mom randomly starts laying into me about some random thing. I can picture it now. You're not moving fast enough. Don't set those boxes down so hard. Repack this box. You mix nonfiction and fiction books together.
Okay, that last one was an exaggeration. She's not that bad.
So you admit the first two sounds like something she'd say?
I told you, leave Mom to me. I've got a plan in mind that I am 100% sure is gonna have you guys getting along better in no time. Trust me.
Alright, if you say so. But whatever this plan is, I hope it's a good one.
Oh, it's gonna blow you away. What the hell, Rhonda? Where are you going? We were in the middle of a conversation and you just got up from the table and walked out the door. How do you think that made my mom feel?
Why are you more concerned with how your mom feels than how I feel? You said you were going to do something to help us get along.
Yeah, and I did! I came up with a surefire plan to improve your relationship. What more do you want from me?
You call that a plan? Are you out of your mind? You must be if you think that plan is going to do anything but make me miserable.
What's wrong with my plan? I thought it was ingenious. Think about it. The two of you living under the same roof, cooking together, eating together, cleaning together every single day. There's no better way to improve your relationship. It's either you start getting along better or you'll end up killing each other.
Yeah, and the later is far more likely. Though once again, it won't be me doing the killing.
You take that back right now, Rhonda. My mom would never harm you.
She's been nothing but awful to me, and you think forcing me to share a living space is going to make things better? No way, it's going to keep getting worse.
How can you know that without even giving it a try?
I'm not the only one who has to answer for anything, Archie. Let me ask you a question. I have not heard anything about this until today. Actually, it seems like I'm the only one who was out of the loop, seeing as though your mom was packing all of her stuff in the moving truck too. That means you and your mom planned this whole thing behind my back. Why did you make a major decision like me without asking me?
I wanted it to be a surprise. I thought you'd be happy.
You have to be kidding me! You thought I'd be happy to live with a woman who has never wasted an opportunity to insult me?
My mom seemed to be happy about the idea. We've been talking about it for a few months now.
A few months? These conversations have been going on behind my back for months? This is unreal! I can't believe you would do this to me.
I can't believe you would be so against the idea.
Really, Archie? This is the woman who asks me when I'm quitting my job every time I see her. She acts like it's a sin for a woman to ever set foot out of the house. There's no way I'm ever gonna live with her. Not a chance. I refuse.
I think it's time someone finally told you this to your face. My mom does have a point, you know.
Oh my god. What point does she have? Let's hear it, Archie.
You're my wife, but you barely ever do any of the housework. I'm the one who always has to clean up after your messes all the time.
What? Okay, first of all, no, you are absolutely not the person who cleans up around this house. When's the last time you ever did the dishes?
I'm pretty sure I did them last week.
Okay, well, that's a long shot from always, isn't it? Second, there's a perfectly good reason that you should do more of the housework than me. You only work 3 or 4 days a week. Have you forgotten that I'm the breadwinner of this family? I bring 80% of our combined income.
Oh boy, here it comes again. Go ahead, Rhonda, let me hear it. Tell me all about what a miserable failure of a husband I am and what a hard-working woman you are. Boy, I just love it when you brag to me about how much money you make.
That's not what I'm doing, and you know it. I'm just saying I work a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You work a few hours a day, 3 or 4 days a week. Logistically speaking, you're at home an awful lot more than I am, so it would only make sense that you do more of the housework than me. What else are you doing with all of your free time?
Stop changing the subject. This conversation isn't about my free time. It's about you being terribly rude to my mom today. Now, you need to get back here and apologize to her. Then you can help her move her stuff into her room. She's tired and wants to lie down.
I will not apologize. I will not help her move into her room, and I will not allow her to live in my house. This is not up for negotiation.
That's my line. My mom is living with us, and that's final. Don't like it? Then get out.
You cannot be serious right now.
I'm dead serious, Rhonda. I'm putting my foot down. I am not going to share my home or my life with a woman who disrespects my mom like you. You can stay at a hotel tonight. Do whatever you need to do to cool off. As for us, we're going on vacation tomorrow as scheduled. Make your decision before we get back.
And what decision would that have been, Archie? Be specific. What ultimatum are you making here?
I think you know what I mean. I don't have to explain anything to you. So think long and hard about your future this weekend. All right, Rhonda, we're leaving the bed and breakfast right now, and we'll be back home soon. It's time for you to make your decision. What's it gonna be?
Welcome back. I've made my decision. I want to get a divorce.
Unreal. You're serious about this? Once you make this choice, you can't take it back.
I'm comfortable with my decision.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. You've lost your mind. What are you gonna do on your own? Sure, you've got a nice income, but you just exhausted your savings buying me this house. And you're just gonna walk away from everything? What an idiot. Fine, be that way. You have until sundown tonight to clear your stuff out of my house.
Hold on, Archie. What do you mean, your house?
What other house could I be talking about? This house, the one you bought for me.
I didn't buy it for you. I bought it for us, and I'm keeping it.
You can't do that. It's our house. That means it's part mine. You chose to leave. I didn't make you leave. If you're gonna walk away from this marriage, that means you're walking away from this house.
No, it doesn't, you moron. My name's on the title.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means everything, actually.
I'm not gonna play this stupid game with you, Rhonda. You think I don't know what you're trying to do?
Humor me. What am I trying to do, Archie?
You're trying to scare me into taking you back. I know, you're terrified of losing me.
My goodness, Archie. However did you become such a brilliant detective? You solved the case.
Drop the sarcasm. You know I'm right. And fortunately for you, I'm feeling generous today. I've decided that I'll be the bigger person and forgive you for the way you treated me and my mom. If you'll come over here right now, get on your knees and beg for my forgiveness, then I'll take you back.
Oh, is that all I have to do?
I told you, I'm feeling generous. However, you have to get here within 1 hour. After that, the offer is null and void.
I'm at my parents' house. It's a 2-hour drive, so I couldn't do that even if I wanted to.
That's not my problem.
Would you like to know what is your problem, Archie? I sold the house.
More empty threats? Is that all you have? You can't sell the house. You need my permission.
I can sell the house, and I don't need your permission. You need proof? I already found a buyer. The sales was finalized earlier today.
No way.
I don't get why you'd be so upset. It should be good news for you. We're not divorced yet, so all the money I got from selling the house is legally a joint asset. That means when I divorce you, you'll be able to get about half of it.
That's impossible. We've only been gone for a few days. There's not a chance you were able to find a buyer for the house and sell it in just a few days.
The real estate market around here is red hot. Most places only stay up on the market for a few weeks tops. Granted, I needed to sell the house as soon as possible, so I had to take a pretty big hit on the price.
I don't believe you. You're bluffing.
If you don't believe me, perhaps the retailer sign with sold above it and the yard will convince you otherwise.
You probably just put that there yourself.
Okay, how about the fact that your keys don't work anymore?
Getting locks changed on a house can be done in an afternoon. You're gonna have to do better than that.
Alright, what would convince you I was telling you the truth? Maybe the fact that all of our stuff has been cleared out of the house and is totally empty?
You're too late to make up any new lies. We just pulled into the driveway. We'll see how empty my house is. Rhonda! Where is all our stuff?
Told you, didn't I?
You had no right to do that. Your name may have been on the title, but it's my house too. You need to have my permission before making any decisions about what happens to it.
Oh, do I now? Is that right, Archie? What about decisions like, I don't know, inviting my parents to live with us? Would I need your permission before doing that?
Obviously, yeah. You think you could just drop your parents on me without talking to me about it first? How could you be so... Anyway, you have no idea the kind of trouble you're in right now.
Hold on, could you finish that last sentence? You were talking about it being selfish for me to invite my parents to live with us without talking to you first.
That's not important right now. The important thing is that you will regret this. You said it yourself. You lost a ton of money on the sale.
Sure, but the loss I took was more than worth for what I got out of the deal.
And what's that?
Revenge. Sweet, sweet revenge. Your plan to get your mom to live with us was one of the most insensitive, selfish, uncaring things I've ever heard of. You know how terrible she treated me? I've been trying for ages to get you to do something about her, but you always just defended her. Well, now the shoe's on the other foot. How's it feel to get a taste of your own medicine?
No way. You did this just to teach us a lesson?
Nah, I don't think you're capable of learning anything. I just wanted revenge.
You've gone too far, Rhonda. You're sick.
I'm fine, actually. It's you I'm more worried about. What are you gonna do now that you're homeless? Move in with your mom?
I can't. She sold her house because she thought she was gonna move in with us. But I'll manage. I have plans.
Plans to increase your income about $1,000 a month, I hope. Tell you what, I'm feeling generous. I suppose I could help you out.
Really? I mean, I'd really appreciate anything you could do for us.
I'll give you half of the money I got from selling the house.
Whoa, really?
Sure, on one condition, however.
Oh no. I don't like where this is going.
If you come over to my parents' house right now, get on your knees and beg for my forgiveness. Then the money's all yours. Oh, and don't forget, you have to get here within an hour. Obviously, Archie and his mom didn't make it in time. They did get a speeding ticket for their trouble, though. When he ran in the door, he immediately got down to his knees and apologized, but it was too late for him. I threw an envelope of divorce papers at him and made him sign them right there on the spot. Like I said, I had no choice but to split the money I got from selling the house with him. But even with as much money as he got from me, it wouldn't last long. He makes next to no money at all, and his mother has no savings left. Her only income is her Social Security payments, so they're going to have a pretty hard time of things from now on. As for me, being free from the stress of dealing with Archie's mother, I've been more able to focus on my work. My company has noticed my increase in motivation, and they're planning to promote me something in the near future. Also, not having to finance Archie's awful spending habits means I'm saving a larger proportion of my income than I ever did before. I'm working on building myself a new path in life for myself, one day at a time. My 10-year goal is to save up enough money again to build a new house for myself. I don't think it'll be very soon, but the day may come when I find someone who I'd like to share that home with. But this time around, I'm going to make sure he's not a lazy mommy's boy. I'm not wasting any more of my time or money on people who don't respect me.